I thought it was like kind of a joke that I was playing with myself. Like, you know when a clown pulls out like balloons? I thought that was happening at that moment. I'm like, I I I don't even remember buying all this stuff. Why do I have so many receipts? Hey guys, it's been a minute. I hope you guys are doing amazing, excellent. Right now, as I'm recording this video, it is beginning of February. I don't want to tell the exact date because it would kind of give you a hint as to how long it takes me to like finish a video and then edit it and then upload it. So the funny thing about this video is that I originally recorded it probably about let's say 3 weeks ago, but I never got around to actually editing it, and well, it wasn't really shot well to begin with. It was pretty dark, but I was like, this weekend I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finally edit the video, I'm gonna post it. I've been super lazy, and yeah, but I realized as I was editing it that I really didn't like the way it was shot at all. It was super dark. I had a headache. It was kind of all over the place, as my videos tend to be, but it was just a bit much, and quite frankly, it was a little difficult to edit out all of the pauses and mistakes I was making. So I'm hoping that this time I can do this video properly and save time on the editing. So let's just get the story started. A few weeks ago, right before I went to Japan, I wanted to take a trip to a city in Korea called Gyeongju. And if you don't know, it's pretty south, or it's at the south of South Korea, and it's close to Busan. So from where I am, it's maybe driving maybe a good like 4 or 5 hours, but on SRT train, it's about maybe 2 hours. So I read a bunch of articles on Gyeongju. It's a pretty big historical site, and I watched videos on it, try to figure out what to do, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go here, spend a weekend here. So I do that, and yeah, so an important thing to know about me is that I don't really plan my vacations. Apart from knowing where I'm going, having a place to stay, and maybe seeing 1 or 2 things, I don't typically plan what I'm gonna do until either I'm on the flight there, I'm on the bus to the flight, I'm off the flight and on the bus to the Airbnb. So that's usually my method of doing things. It's not for everyone, but that's just how I do it. But so I booked the Airbnb. I had a light idea of what I was gonna do. I was gonna arrive to the city Saturday morning and spend the day there, spend the night there, and then come back home Sunday evening, get some cooking done, get some laundry done, and go to work for Monday. So everything is going well and kosher. I get an Airbnb, pretty nice, pretty cheap, and it's Friday night. I'm lying in bed around maybe, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I'm leaving tomorrow. Let's figure out how I'm actually gonna get there. So as I said, it's about 4 or 5 hours driving, or by bus, and maybe about 2 hours by train. So the original plan was that I was going to take the SRT line, which is pretty direct going to Gyeongju, and it's a little pricier, about twice the price of the bus, but it's much faster, and I live pretty close to it, so it would have worked out pretty well. However, what I didn't realize is that a lot of people actually take this train. And not only are you supposed to kind of get your tickets beforehand, especially for a weekend trip, but tickets actually sell quite a bit before you actually want to go somewhere. That being said, so what I mean is, if I really wanted to, so what I mean is, for this weekend trip, I really should have bought my ticket maybe a week or two in advance because all the tickets were sold out for my train. All of the tickets from my city to Gyeongju were sold out. All of the tickets from the next city to me to Gyeongju was sold out. I was shocked. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know it was going to be like that. And so what I try to do is spend the next hour looking for alternate routes. Maybe I can take a bus here, take a train there, and then da 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 da. But I spend an hour, I'm not really getting anywhere. The most interesting thing is that it takes 2 hours or even an hour 45 directly on train. That's the shortest. The longest is maybe 6-7 hours. So it's a really, really big gap, and I'm trying to save money and not book a taxi, which will cost a few $100. So I'm like, okay, I need to get up early. Let me go to sleep. I'll figure this out tomorrow morning. So I wake up, maybe I get 5 hours of sleep, and I'm looking for ways to get to the city, to get to my Airbnb, and still kind of shit out of luck. And basically what happens is that I found a route where I would be able to take a bus to the bus terminal in the next city to. I would be able to take a bus to the bus terminal of a neighboring city and then take a few trains to actually get to the destination. So I do that, I get to the bus terminal, come to find out that the train I wanted to take actually doesn't leave until maybe 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock that night. Mind you, it was afternoon, it was noon, okay? It was like 12 o'clock on the dot. So obviously I can't wait 8 hours to take a 2-hour trip and then come back the next day. That's ridiculous. So what I ended up doing was kind of saying, screw it, this is not going to be easy, this is not going to be like a simple way. I realized that I have to take my time, basically navigate, literally put in the address of where I am now and the next major station, put that into Kakao Maps and just find as many routes as possible, because there's not going to be a smooth way of getting there. So I do that, I take a train to the next station, and the station is, I believe, so from Osan I take the train to Pyeongtaek, and while I'm waiting for the train to Pyeongtaek, I run into some other foreigners who, they're a bit older, and turns out that they were in Japan because they worked for the US military on Navy ships, something like that. They were super cool, and we actually met this Korean guy who had studied abroad, who had worked in Australia a few years ago. So he gave us a lot of help as far as how to get to my destination, how they can get to their destination. And so it turns out that we were actually me and the Korean guy were going to the same stop, Pyeongtaek, and the others had gotten up right before then. So we chatted for a bit, and he was super, super nice. He helped me get a train ticket that would go to Gyeongju, and he talked to the guy. It was super helpful. I thank you for that. It saved my life. So from that point, all I needed to do was take the KTX line, make one transfer, and then take the next train, and I'll be, at the city. I'll be golden. So, mind you, this entire trip from when I left my house, 11:30, to when I get to my Airbnb, 6 hours. It takes 6 hours. Okay, I get to my Airbnb maybe 5:30, 5 o'clock, and so I'm a little livid because I really wanted to shoot a video of my time in Gyeongju, like the sights and stuff like that, but the sun, obviously it's winter, so the sun sets earlier, and by the time I got there, it was too dark to really shoot anything. So I was just like, alright, I'll just see some sights, I'll do what I can do. But so I get to Gyeongju, or at least to the nearest bus terminal to my Airbnb, and from there's about 25-minute bus ride to the Airbnb I was staying from the terminal. I get to the bus stop where I can take the city bus, and I realize that it's about maybe 15-minute wait. So a 15-minute wait for the city bus to the hostel / Airbnb, and then on top of that, an extra 20 minutes of actually running there. So maybe about 35 minutes I would waste getting to my Airbnb. So what I decided to do was take a taxi, which not the best idea ever, because I get into the taxi and literally as we're pulling off, the fucking bus that I'm supposed to take pulls up right next to us and just zooms by. So I was so livid. So what ended up happening was I didn't save any time, and the taxi fare turned out to be somewhere around $20. So not only did I not save any time, but I ended up paying 10 times as much as the bus fare to get to my Airbnb, and the sun was still setting, and it was getting dark, and I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I wanted to anyway. So literally, that's kind of the point where things really started to like go left for this trip. So, but I finally get there. Mind you, this entire time, my stomach is killing me. Like, I'm having stomach cramps. Like, I don't know. So I get to my Airbnb, I take stuff out of my bag, like clothes and stuff like that. I get adjusted or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. Let me get a quick snack, and then I'll be on my way to see some sights. Luckily, the sights I wanted to see were maybe about within a 30-minute walk from the place I was staying. So at least that worked out well. So I finally leave my Airbnb maybe around, this is maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock p.m. and the sun is literally like dipping below the horizon. So it's just like, fuck, no videos today. But whatever, it's fine. I'm still on vacation, so I'll just do what I have to do. And so what I decided to do to save some time was go to a convenience store nearby. I believe it was GS25, super popular here. I love them so much. But I go there and I decide, you know what, I'll just get a quick chicken on a stick and some chocolate, you know, just to tide me over, save some money. Because what I really wanted to get was this like bento lunchbox, but I didn't want to like have to heat it up and then sit down in the place and then eat it. So I was like, I'll save some time, save maybe like 200 won, and which is about maybe like, I don't know, like 20 cents maybe. So yeah, I ended up doing that, and I walk out, I'm eating the food, I'm eating the chocolate. I'm like, okay, this is not too bad. Even though it's getting dark, it's not so bad. And then I'm walking, and like 15 minutes later, I'm like, I am so hungry still. I was starving still. Like, I was literally starving. The snack didn't do anything at all for me. It was just like a drop. And it just occurred to me, like, I should have just literally gotten the lunchbox. At least I would have been full. So I was just like, fuck me. But I'm like, okay, whatever. It's okay. I'm just gonna see these sights, and then I'll get like some jjajangmyeon later, and it'll be okay. It wasn't okay, because I walk maybe about 20 minutes. I see a temple. I see like this cool burial ground. Pretty okay. And then I look at my phone, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm at like 5%. So I, take out my bag, try to get my portable charger on my wire, and then I realized that my wire isn't there. What I did, and I didn't realize it until that moment, was that I took out my charger in the Airbnb to charge my phone for a bit, and I forgot to put the fucking wire back in my bag. And that wire was actually my spare wire. I didn't have any other wire for my phone in the bag. So I was literally about maybe 20 minutes from my Airbnb, and my phone was at like 4% at this point, and I was just like, why? Like, why? I just decided, fuck it. Like, if my phone dies, it dies. I'll just try to remember the street it was on. I couldn't remember the street it was on. It was like I mean, I can read Korean, but like it's different. I'm not from that city. Like it's different. So especially because I was maybe about 25 minutes walking from that point, so it was just gonna be a little difficult. But I'm like, all right, I'll just deal with it. Fine, whatever. And so I'm walking a bit more to see the next site. These cool big burial mounds. That's like in this like burial mounds. It's pretty dope. And so I'm walking, getting even more hungry, and starting to think more about, holy shit, I really don't want my phone to die actually. Like, I kinda need it. And I just cave. Like, I find another convenience store, and then I go in trying to just buy a wire. Let me tell you, this wire was maybe about 10 bucks. 10 bucks for a wire? Like, do you understand that I get a pack of 3 wires for maybe 8 bucks? So having to pay 10 bucks for one wire. But, you know, at that point, the shit weekend was already full-fledged. Like, it was like, all right, come at me. Like, obviously it's 10,000. Like, I should be lucky it's not fucking 30 bucks. But I'm just standing there holding it. I'm like, do I really need to charge my phone? Do I really need to charge my phone? And I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll have to do it. The convenience store guy is like looking at me because like I'm like directly in his line of sight. And I don't know, he probably thinks I'm gonna steal the shit. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just buy it. And so I buy it, and then I, you know, stop just before I leave the store, plug it in my portable charger, plug it in my phone is charging, and I'm still hungry. I am still hungry. This is maybe about 30 minutes after I originally ate the chicken on a stick, and I'm still hungry. So I'm like, all right, sun's already down, it's already dark, might as well just get some food. So I just stayed there and ended up getting the bento box that I actually really wanted to get. Well, it wasn't the one I wanted to get, but it was one that I liked already. So I got that. In the process, spending another $4,000 for $4 on food that I didn't really need to spend if I had just gotten it from the beginning. But whatever. So add that to the list of expenses that I incurred. So I ate that. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. Get out from the store, walking to the next site, which is supposed to be this old tower that's been there for forever. So I'm like walking, but from where I was at that point to the next site, maybe 15-20 minutes walking. So I'm like, all right, fine. Walk out. Obviously it's dumb fucking cold. Like, my ears are cold, my hands are cold, so I'm just cold walking. And I'm tired on top of that. Let me start layering things. I'm cold, and then I'm tired because I didn't get that much sleep, and I've been walking around all day just trying to figure out where the hell to go. And then the icing on the cake at that and also I spent more money than I wanted to, so that's it's like 1 level, 2 level, 3 levels. And then on top of that, the road, at a certain point, this really long road came, which there was no separation between sidewalk and road, which is not uncommon, but it was particularly frustrating because it was a Saturday night in a pretty famous city in Korea, so it was kind of packed. There were a lot of people walking on the roads going in either directions, and there were a lot of cars coming down the roads in either directions. And just to paint the picture for you, it's really a 1-lane road that has cars parked on this side and some cars parked on this side, and then 1 lane of like traffic going in either direction. So if one car is coming from here and another car is coming from here, you kind of have to like do a whoop, whoop, and then you go. On top of that, there are people walking still along the same road. So it's hella crowded, and people are driving obviously recklessly, and people are also just stopping in the middle of the street in their big ass groups, like kissing each other, hugging each other, or just checking their phones. So I was losing my shit. This was a really long road. I probably had to walk on this road for maybe, I don't know, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. So I was literally losing my fucking shit. So at that point I was just done. I was like, I was literally just staying out to see the sights just because I didn't want to go back to my Airbnb at that time because I also realized in my room you can hear the people right next door. So didn't want to hear that shit. So I was like, let me just stay outside. Like, it's okay. I came all this distance. Let me just do this thing tonight and I'll be happy. I'll be fine. So I make it out. I make it to this temple. It's an okay temple. It's pretty crowded. It's nothing special really, I think. But I do that and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my maps and I'm like, okay, this is another site I wanted to see. It's like another temple. So I leave that area and then I'm on my way to walk to the next site, and then it just like sinks in that it is so cold. It is really, really, really cold. Like it's like 8 o'clock at this point and I'm just freezing fucking cold. And walking from that temple where I was to the next temple, 20 minutes, like, and I was walking back in the direction I came too. So it's just like there was so many things happening and I was just over it. I'm like, you know what, guy? That's it. This ain't it. So I just decide to take the bus back to my Airbnb and, probably just call it a night. What I also realized looking at the maps is that there's a Gyeongju spa maybe about 6 minutes walking from where my Airbnb was. And it looked pretty cool. It wasn't so expensive. So I was like, all right, I'll go back to my Airbnb, drop my bags off, and I'll just walk to the spa. It'll be okay. I can save this night. It's okay. It's only 8 o'clock. I can still get jogging done after, go to sleep, and I'll be happy. So I get back to my Airbnb and then put my stuff down and I walk to the Gyeongju and it's fine. Like I walk in, I get to the front desk, I'm like, la 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 la, da la la la, and then I'm getting ready to pay, and then the lady's like, oh, so I think you should know that it's quite crowded upstairs and it's pretty noisy and you might not enjoy, like basically you might not enjoy being here right now. She's asking me, do I actually really want to come at this time because it's very, very crowded and noisy. And then part of me was like, why would you say that? I was like, what? Is this not your establishment? Why would you tell me, why would you, even though it's good advice, don't get me wrong, it's good. Like, yeah, it's crowded, but like, as the business owner or as someone who works, it's kind of in your interest to like make sure I'm spending the money, I guess, regardless, and to not confirm if I really want to spend money there. But so on one hand I appreciate it, on the other hand I thought it was like a little strange, and I'm like, it's because I'm black. But I'm like, yeah, sure, like it's fine. At that point I didn't realize how crowded and how like how serious she was, because after I finished paying, like I start noticing like the area behind her where there's a bunch of like changing rooms and everything, and I'm like seeing like big groups of people, like just like multiple different groups of people, and like I'm seeing a lot of kids just running around, which isn't uncommon for a Gyeongju, but it was more kids than I'm used to seeing. So I pay, I put my shoes in, and I go to the changing room, and she wasn't wrong. Like it. Well, just for some context, I go to Gyeongju like not very often, but often enough to like kind of have an idea of what to expect. This was by far the most crowded Gyeongju like I had ever been to. And I've been to Gyeongju in Seoul, like in the middle of Seoul, near Seoul Station on a Saturday night. And that shit wasn't half as crowded as the one in Gyeongju on that Saturday night. So I was just kind of shook. Like, and not only was it crowded with a lot of people, there was a lot of fucking kids. A lot of kids. Like, it was mostly kids, in fact. It was as if there was a school trip or something, I don't know, but there was just so many kids running around. And I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I thought that, like, not to be like, not to be like, I don't know, like, I thought that the birth rate was pretty low. Like, why are there so many fucking kids around here? In addition to the fact that, like, I work at a school with kids, so I'm like, literally the last thing I want to be doing right now, like on a Saturday night trying to relax, is hearing a bunch of kids running around. This is what I deal with on a Monday to Friday basis. Like, are you for real? But so I get in the water for like a few minutes, but the water is like fine, but it wasn't anything special. Most spas I've been to have a wider assortment. Like, there's hot water, there's cold water, there's like room temperature warm water, there's like different like salts, stuff like that. This place literally had 3 like baths. One was super fucking hot, one was super fucking cold, and one was just right. And that's where everyone was. So it was like this ain't it. Like, so that was a dub. Like, the water was a dub. So I'm like, all right, I paid the money. Let me go upstairs. Because if you don't know, jjimjilbangs typically not only do they have the bath area itself, they also have saunas, they have movie rooms, they have studies, they have like arcade gyms, stuff like that. So I was like, all right, let me see like, what I really wanted to do was actually go to the massage chair, because I love a nice massage chair, and the ones in Korea are like typically very cheap, maybe $2 for like 15-30 minutes. So I was like, hell yeah, I was looking for the massage chair. And I get to the floor that has them, which is also a floor that has like a big open space where you can just like lay down and chill. There's like a TV there, there's like a snack bar, there's like a few rooms that have like special sleeping rooms, like saunas. So it's pretty chill, it's pretty dope. But I get up there and there are more kids than not more than I've ever seen, but it was akin to going to a McDonald's, like those old, I don't know if they still do it, but those McDonald's playgrounds where there's like there's the toys and everything. It was akin to that. There was so many children running around and just yelling, just like running around, like literally what I see every day in school. That was what I was seeing, just in one room, one big room with all the parents just like literally like laying down and chilling. I'm like, how? Like, how? First of all, why? Second, how? Why and how? Like, I'm trying to relax. All these people who are childless are trying to relax, and you just have like literally like there's like 10 kids per adult at this place for some reason. I don't know, but whatever. I'm like, I put my music in, I lay down in the massage chair, and I'm just like trying to relax. The massage chair was a little small, like I couldn't really get my body like very well into it, but I'm like trying to relax and chill. And I'm like, in my relaxation and in my music, I cannot like drown out the sounds of kids just like running around and screaming. Don't you love when a video stops recording midway? Okay, whatever. So, as I was saying, I'm in the massage chair, and there's so many kids running around, and I'm just like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm gonna get some jjajangmyeon, get some Korean Chinese food, and then I'm just gonna go home and sleep. That's it. So I get downstairs, I go into the changing room, I change, I get out. It was so convenient because in literally halfway between the spa and the place I was staying, there was a Korean Chinese food restaurant, and that's literally one of my favorite types of foods ever. So I go and pick up like 3 dishes for the price of maybe about $20, which was amazing actually. Like, it was really good, it was pretty cheap. It was probably enough food for like maybe 3 or 4 people, and I probably consumed it in maybe 2 servings. But anyway, so get back to my room in the Airbnb, and obviously the people next door, I'm still able to hear them, but it's not that big of a deal. And I'm laying in the bed, and I'm just like, all right, how am I going to survive tomorrow? Because my plan was that I wanted to see some temples that were near this mountain in the area, but it was like an hour away on the bus in the opposite direction of the bus. Wait, hold on a second. So this is my Airbnb. This was the temple where I was gonna go to hike, and then this was the bus station I need to be at to get back home. So it was maybe a good hour plus the temple in the opposite direction of where I needed to be going to get back home. So I'm like, if I wake up early, I can have enough time to do that, to go to the temple, take some photos or whatever. I can do all that and maybe still make it to the bus. However, the problem with that is I still couldn't get an SRT ticket back home. Like, not only were the tickets going there sold out, but the tickets back were sold out. I mean, I guess obviously, but so realistically, I was looking at another maybe 6-7 hours trying to get back home. And mind you, I still had to work the next day. I had to wake up early for work the next day, and I still had to do some laundry, and I still had to do a little bit of meal prepping for the week. So I was like, I can't do that. Like, I literally don't have time to do anything other than get back home. So I decided to just go to sleep, and what I was gonna do is wake up at 8 o'clock, bright and early, get ready, check out, head right to the bus terminal, and then just be on my way back home. So I do that. Mind you, I fall asleep like at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up like at 8 o'clock, so 5 hours of sleep. A total of 10 hours of sleep in like 2 days. Mind you, I need 8 to 9 hours in one night. So I'm tired. And so I wake up, I get out, I get to the bus terminal, which luckily, I should say the bus terminal going back home is a different one than what I came from originally. So, and that one was only, the one I was taking back home was only maybe 10 minutes walking from my Airbnb. So that worked out fine. I get my bus ticket. It was maybe about $5, wasn't so bad. The plan was take an express bus to West Daegu or East Daegu, and then from East Daegu, I would be able to, take the KTX line all the way to, I believe, Suwon, and then from Suwon, I can take a bus maybe 30 minutes to my city, Dongtan. So which is much simpler than the route I took actually getting to Gyeongju. So it was okay, it was fine. It was long, but it was fine. So get my bus ticket, get on the bus leaves at maybe 9-10 o'clock, and I get to the bus terminal, but hold on, let me back up for a second. So the express bus to the, not to the bus terminal, to the KTX train that I needed to take, the ride was maybe 45 minutes, an hour. And I get on the bus, and there's maybe about 5-6 people in total, and just leg room for days, like just so much leg room. It was so comfy, the chairs reclined, and I didn't have to sit next to anyone. I hardly was able to even see anyone just because, well, I'm exaggerating, but it was empty. The bus was empty, minus like 5 people, so it was fine. I'm like, thank God, like finally some things are looking up. Like I'm gonna be able to get back home, and luckily not have to sit next to anyone, and luckily I have good leg room and just enjoy my ride. So, you know, I take some videos of like the scenery, like the mountains and like the city of Gyeongju, and then I'm just like on the bus, like trying to like sleep a bit. And there's a guy sitting in front of me, and he gets up. Mind you, this is maybe 5-10 minutes away from the East Daegu bus station where we were heading to. So maybe 5-10 minutes away. Everything's been going well for 45-50 minutes. So 5-10 minutes away, dude in front of me, I hear him like get up, and like he like runs to the front of the bus, and he sits in that seat right next to the bus driver, and he's like saying something to him, and I have like no idea. All I hear is like I'm just like my eyes are closed, just like fuck that. Just like whatever, it's like fine, whatever, he's probably drunk or some shit. Or he's speaking in some dialect of Korean that I don't know. Either one. But I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I open my eyes and I'm like looking up, trying to see what's going on. And I swear to God, all I see is my man, he had his like hand on his mouth, and he just like literally like he like projectile vomited like everywhere. This guy, I think he was like hungover. I don't know what his deal was, but he just vomited everywhere. Mind you, this was like a few weeks ago, so like before coronavirus scare, but so I'm sure he didn't have it properly. But anyway, it was so much vomit. Like, and the worst part was that because he like covered it with his mouth, he covered his mouth with his hand, like it just like not only went through his fingers, but it kind of like just like ricocheted off of his hand and just like bleh. And vomit got literally like everywhere towards the front of the bus. Like it got on the front window, some got on the bus driver, some got on the floor, some got on the seats, some got on himself, obviously. And I was just like, you know what? Actually, I didn't even react. I was like, I saw it. I was like, that's gross. And then I looked out the window and I closed my eyes. That's what I did. Like, after the bullshit that I dealt with yesterday, the day before, like, I was literally like, obviously, duh, someone will vomit on the 1 hour bus ride you're taking. Like the first step of your trip back home, obviously that's gonna happen. Did you not see what happened yesterday? All that shit you had to go through. So I was like, all right, that's that. Luckily we were somewhat close to the station. The bus driver was able to pull over. The dude got out, puked his guts everywhere on the ground. He was just like, my man was like, his entire body weight just. Bleh. He gets back on. Bus driver's like cleaning up. The smell is like starting to make its way towards the back of the bus, towards where I was sitting, and then I'm just like, literally, just like, what am I gonna do? Luckily, we only had like 5 or 10 minutes until the bus ends, so it's like it wasn't a big deal. But getting off the bus, like there was still vomit on the ground, so I literally had to just like skirt my way past that shit. So that was disgusting. So yeah, we get to Daegu station. I'm just remembering the fucking shit that happened at this station. So, cause spoiler alert, shit just continues to just like go downhill for some reason. So I get there and I find the ticket office where I need to buy my ticket. Get my ticket, no big deal, it's fine. Like, KTX apparently has more seats or runs more often, but I don't have any troubles getting a ticket. So I'm like, okay, I have like maybe 30 or 40 minutes to kill time. So I'm like, I'll look for food or whatever. Mind you, my stomach is still hurting. Like, my stomach has been hurting for a good 2 days already. So my stomach's still hurting, I'm like cramping up still, but I'm like, all right, let me just make it back home. So I left my Airbnb maybe at 9 o'clock. It's probably 10:30 at this point. So I'm walking around trying to find something to eat, and I'm kind of craving at this point like some burgers, like some fast food that's like hot. I don't really eat fast food here or back home, but like I was just kind of craving it. So I was going around looking for maybe McDonald's, Loteria, which is, I don't know, Korean McDonald's or whatever. Maybe even a Burger King, which I despise, but I was looking for something hot. And what happened was I exited the ticket area to go to the main area where there's food. And so here's the visual. I'm walking out past the doors, and then you'll see right across from where I'm standing is like where the first store is. Like it's like a Gyeongju or something, like Dunkin' Donuts or something. And then there's like a row of stores, 1 or 2 stores or whatever. Like, so I'm like, all right, I'll see what's going on down here. So I start walking. I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing a lot of food that you have to kind of sit down and eat. That takes a while. Nothing really fast, nothing of the burger variety. So I'm just like, oh fuck, all right, whatever. I'll just go to the convenience store, get like a packet sandwich, some chips maybe. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. So I pay there, and then I walk out. Just walking back to the terminal where my train is, which is kind of next to the ticket office. So I'm going back to where that area I just left from. So I'm walking, and I make a left to the door where I just walked out from the ticket office, and I look to my right. So the side I didn't take, I look over there and I see a fucking loteria. Like, I'm like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you? I was so livid. This was literally what I was looking for. I was literally looking for a burger joint where I can get like a fast food, just eat on the way. That's what I was looking for, like hot food, hot junk food, that. I didn't see it because literally the 1 or 2 stores on the left side that I didn't see that I thought were basically closed, that was the store I was actually looking for. So what I ended up buying was like a cold sandwich and some fucking chips. So, which wasn't nearly as fulfilling as I wanted it to be, but I just got that. So I was just like, I saw that shit and I was like, alright, whatever, like, okay, like, whatever. So I'm just like, blood pressure just high, spirits just low. I'm like, obviously it was there the entire time. Obviously, like, duh. So I walked back and then I walked towards my what's it called, platform for my train, and I sit down, take out my sandwich, eat my chips, waiting for the train to come. Have about maybe 10 minutes, so I'm just like sitting down, and then the train is starting to pull in the station. Very similar to the LIRR. I think I had like 4 R's there, but the LUR, very similar, very on time. Although it doesn't leave the station as quickly, it does linger for a bit, which is good. A guy actually comes out, make sure everyone is in, make sure everyone is out. So like it's much more like friendly, I guess. So the train's pulling in, or it's about to pull in, and I'm like, okay, let me figure out where my seat is, because the seats are reserved when you buy your ticket. So I'm like trying to find my ticket, which it looks like it's just a longer seat, and I'm like, okay, where is it? Like, take it out of my pocket, and I don't see it. And then look in my other pocket, don't see it. Look in my pants pocket, I don't see it. Look in my other pants pocket, I don't see it. Look in my wallet, I don't see it. And I'm like, okay, this is whatever, okay. And then I take my bag up seriously, and it was like, you know when you do like a serious like deep dive for something? So I was like doing that. I was like, all right, okay, like ha, where is this shit? Like, I don't usually lose important stuff like that. So I was looking for it, and I'm like, I want to go back. I don't lose important stuff like that. I don't lose things like my bus tickets or my train ticket. I don't lose that shit. Like, I might lose money or something, or like my Metro card, but I don't lose stuff like that. So I'm like, I have to have it. Like, obviously, I'm very careful about that kind of thing. I have to have it. I just can't find it. And at this point, I'm like panicking because the train's already pulled in and people are already leaving the train. So people are starting to enter. And I'm like, still can't find my ticket. So I'm like, I can do one of 2 things right now. I can go onto the train, hope that as I'm standing on the train, I can find my ticket somehow, or I can just stay out here and risk missing the train and not have to deal with the embarrassment of being on a train that I don't have a ticket for and potentially being kicked off the train. So I'm like, don't know what to do. So I get on the train, looking for my ticket still, can't find it. I get off the train, and luckily I find an employee who I believe, he's not a conductor, but he works on the train or some shit. So I like go up to him and I'm like, I don't know what my ticket is. And he's just like, in Korean, just telling me that, okay, getting on the train. I don't think he's listening to me. He's just like telling me, get on the train, whatever, it's fine. He's very nice. He's a very nice guy, but he was just obviously like in a rush to get some stuff done. And so we both get on the train, standing in like a little middle cart area where you walk in between the cars. And so the train pulls off, and I'm just like, everything's just like calm down. I'm like still trying to find my receipt. I'm just like, I try to say in Korean, like, I lost my ticket. I don't know where my ticket is. And then he's like, what? And I'm just like, I don't know where my ticket is. Like, cause the scene that was happening, like, for some reason I had accumulated maybe like 3 dozen receipts over this past weekend and over the past few weeks, over the past week. So I was just pulling out like receipt, like Gyeongju receipts, bank receipts, CU receipts, like the dinner I had like 3 days ago receipt. Like I was just, for some reason I was perplexed. I'm like, I was literally like internally like kind of laughing a bit because I was like, first of all, I didn't even know I had this many receipts on me. Like I thought it was like kind of a joke that I was playing with myself. Like, you know when a clown pulls out like balloons, I thought that was happening at that moment. I'm like, I don't even remember buying all this stuff. Why do I have so many receipts in my pockets? And the one receipt I don't have is the fucking receipt that I need. And he's just like checking the receipts with me. I'm like, he's like, I take it out, he looks at it, he's like, nope. And I take it out, he looks at it, he's like, nope. You know, and then he's like starting to laugh a bit because he thinks it's like pretty funny. And I think it's pretty funny too, but I'm just like also panicking because like, I might get kicked off the train. I don't know what they're gonna do to like a brother, so I'm like, I don't want to be that guy that the black guy that gets kicked off the train. Like it's not a good look. Like that's what I was mostly concerned about. So I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And then he was just like, after like a good maybe like minute of this, he was like, all right. Just like he asked me, did I pay with my card, which I did. I paid with my credit card. And then he was like, okay, we'll try to find the we'll try to track the number and try to track the receipt through the system, whatever. Which, I don't know if he actually said that to me. That's just what I gathered. He was speaking Korean that was like, he was speaking like technical Korean, like Korean that I don't know yet. I was just literally like, context. Like I actually didn't know what the hell he was saying. But he was a nice guy, so I'm sitting down like in the seat next to like that waiting middle cart area where you have like standing room. And then another guy approaches and he has like a little machine that like people in the LIR have when they like, you know, I don't know, check fucking tickets or some shit. And so he walks up to me. He's very nice. He's asking me like, oh, okay, you paid the ticket with your card, right? I'm like, yeah. I pull out my card. He's like, okay, we're gonna check it. And then he puts it in the machine, and then he's like confused a bit because it's an American card actually. It's not a Korean card, and so I guess the system wasn't built for that or some shit. So he was confused. So he's like, oh, it's an American card. I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, oh. Yeah. And he's like, are you a member of like the KTX thing I'm assuming he meant? And I'm like, no, I don't really ride the KTX. I just needed it today. And then he's like, oh. And then I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I don't. And then he asked me like, I think he asked me for like my phone number, I guess, because I guess I would have used that for my account, or to like, I don't know, I guess I would have used my phone number. And I'm like, no, I don't have a Korean phone number, which I didn't. And then he's like, and I'm like, yeah. So at this point in my head, I look like the biggest fucking like coon ever, because in my head it's like, I think that they think, well, in my head, right, let me get this right. In my head, I think that they think that I'm trying to pull one over on them and get a free train ride back home or something like that. So I'm like panicking because it's like all the information that like would be helpful in the situation, and to verify that I actually bought the ticket I don't have, which is awfully pretty sus. But I think he's giving me the benefit of the doubt because I'm a foreigner and I don't know anything, and it's not really, I guess, an uncommon situation, whatever. So I'm just like panicking, I'm like sweating, but I'm like giving him details. I'm like, yeah, I showed him my bus receipt that I used to get to the KTX stations, just to show him that, like, you know, like I'm trying to get somewhere, not trying to, I don't know what I was thinking. But I was like, yeah, I was in Gyeongju and I'm trying to get back to Dongtan and I have to do all this stuff. And I took the bus here and I went to the ticket lady. I bought it from the ticket lady, and I'm thinking all these details about her in case he's like questioning me, like, oh, what does she look like? Oh, what does she look like? So I was thinking all these details, and I was giving him some of the details, and he was like, oh, so you bought it at the ticket counter? I'm like, yes, I bought it at the ticket counter. I couldn't buy it at the machine. I bought it at the ticket counter. So he's like, okay, what we'll do, I'll take your card, and then I'm gonna call something, and then we're gonna like use your card number to find the track the purchase. And then I'm like, okay, fine. So he takes my card, goes into the middle area, ring, 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 ring. He calls the, wait, hold on, let me make sure this is still recording. Okay, perfect. He calls, I don't know, the company, he calls someone. And he's like, he's talking Korean, I have no idea what he's saying, but he reads them my card number, and part of me is just like, bruh, like, you're dead ass reading my card number out loud, like, you can stop that. Not that anyone can really hear him, but I just like, can you not? But yeah, he reads the card. Train to Busan type shit happen. I don't know, like, don't let this train flip, don't let anything happen. Like, I was literally like praying in my head, like, please let me get home. I don't fucking want to deal with this shit anymore. All I want to do is get home. I left my Airbnb at 9 o'clock and I got back to my apartment at 3:30. So the entire day was already gone already. Like, it was just like, I was like, please, like, this is gonna be a long journey. This has been a long journey. Just let me get back home. So, and that's what happened. Like, nothing else happened after that, other than like there were some adorable little kids that like were pretty entertaining for the ride. But other than that, like, it was okay. Like, no one died that I know. I didn't die. Trains weren't flipped over. Zombies didn't come onto the train. Like, it was fine. And yeah, so that was my trip, my weekend trip that I took. Closing remarks. The city was okay. Like, Gyeongju itself wasn't bad. Like, I was in a very bad mood. I was very tired the entire weekend. The city itself wasn't like bad. It wasn't my flavor. Like, it wasn't really my thing per se. I wasn't too impressed by it. But it wasn't like, it was okay. So if you want to know how that was, like, that's my conclusion as far as the city goes. But the trip itself was like 9 out of 10. 10 being the worst thing ever. 9 out of 10, like, would not do it again. Like, it was just so fucking bad. So things that I've learned from this trip. 1, plan your routes and travel beforehand. I have gotten into the habit of booking places to stay without necessarily booking how I'm gonna get there or figure out how I'm gonna get there. So don't find a place to stay unless you know how you're gonna get there, okay? Or you might spend 12 hours doing a 4-hour job, okay? So that's the first thing I learned. Second thing I learned, if you know that you're someone who needs a good amount of food to be satisfied, just get the good amount of food. Don't play yourself. Like, if you know that you're a person who needs like maybe 2 cups of rice, a good piece of chicken, some veggies, dessert, do that. Like, don't get a fucking piece of chicken on a stick and some chocolate and then think that you're okay. Like, cause you're not. You're just gonna spend more money on more food and you're not gonna be happy. So that's number 2 I learned. Number 3, was it just 2 lessons I learned? Maybe it was 3. I don't know. Maybe if number 3 was try to stay positive. I think that was my goal for the entire weekend. There were so many periods, there were so many moments of the trip where I was like, all right, I'm packing it up. Like, I'm just throwing the entire weekend away. Like, there were so many moments where I just wanted to like sink into like just full like negativity and full anger and just not doing anything, but I didn't. I tried not to. Shit ain't always easy when you travel. As someone who's beginning to travel more and more, I'm realizing that, but just don't sink into that place where like it's just everything is bad. Like, try to always redeem the situation. That's what I did, trying to go to those temples even though my phone was dying, even though it was cold as fuck, even though I was tired. Like, sometimes just keep doing it until it works out. also know when to not do it. Also know when to cut your losses. Sometimes it's better to just pack the fuck up and go home and just like eat dinner and chill. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes you just have to push through it and just stay out and just do your thing. But that's not really a lesson. It's just more of a be aware of your options. But thank you for watching. Bye. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully I can continue to make more videos. Hopefully I will continue to make more videos. I really do like making them. I'm just, I don't want to say hella lazy, because it's not true. I'm not hella lazy. I'm just, it's just a lot of work to do it. And if I'm not particularly happy about the quality of the video or what I said or what I do, then I won't upload it or bother editing it. But part of the reason I'm making this video is because it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I just want to upload something, even though this video is long overdue, and even though I have like probably 3 videos of footage that I should have uploaded by now, but just want to get the ball rolling again. So here's to continued videos, and here's to a more reliable schedule, and here's to not having to wait another month for another video, for the next video. So thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, you can like the video. If you, I don't know, want to see more, you can subscribe. If you, I think this would be pretty cool. I think, if you want, like, what have you learned through traveling? What are some of your tips? Like, yeah, like just some lessons that you've learned, like how you've made it if you're someone who travels a lot, someone who likes traveling. Like, what have you learned traveling? And you can just share it in the comments, perhaps start like a discussion or something. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was entertaining for you. Hella long, I know. I was gonna say I hope that I edit it down quite a bit, but I probably won't. Probably just gonna cut out like the long pauses, but other than that, this video is gonna be pretty like true to the original. So yeah. Bye. See you next time. Hello guys, welcome back.